Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We're gonna make butterflies today. So these are some really fun, simple butterflies with things that you've got around the house. Hopefully you've got some things around the house. I'm gonna give you some different options. So hopefully you can find something that will be able to make these cute little butterflies. So it'd be cute just for the kids to kind of make their own butterflies. You could do an arrangement of these, do several of these and lay them out kind of on a canvas and do kind of a piece of wall art out of them. But lots of different things you can do with the butterflies and butterfly garland. But I'm just going to show you how to make a butterfly, and then from there you guys can get creative and make all sorts of things out of them. But I'll show you first with the tissue paper how you can make one. This is just a full piece of tissue paper, and there are 3 sheets left in here. So we're going to go ahead and use all 3 of those sheets and then just cut out a quarter of that. So I'm going to cut down the middle this way, and then I'm going to cut down the middle this way. And we're just going to use 1 corner of that. So out of 3 sheets, you could get 4 butterflies, but I'm just going to go ahead and use this 1 corner and show you how to make 1 butterfly out of just 1 corner of it. So again, that's 3 sheets of tissue paper and just 1 quarter of that. Also, if you wanted to do it out of coffee filters, you could make it out of coffee filters. I went into the cupboard this morning, and this is all I have left for coffee filters. And with everything happening right now, I'm not really wanting to give up my coffee filters, so I wanted to give you that option and show you that if that happens to be something that you have around the house. What you do is just take your coffee filter and fold it in half, and then fold it in half again, and you would use 4 coffee filters for this. So on these with the tissue paper, I have little clothespins that we're going to be using for the center of it, like that. But if you have a full-size clothespin and you don't have little miniature ones like this, that would work better for these coffee filters. So you're going to have a nice big-size butterfly, and if you use a long full-size clothespin, that's going to work out really well for your coffee filters. So that's an option for that, but we're going to go ahead and do it with tissue paper to start out today. So what you're going to do with your tissue paper is take it and fold it in half. So in the end, you're actually going to have 6 layers of this tissue paper on here for this butterfly. And then go ahead, I'm going to kind of crunch it up just to see about how wide I want my butterfly. And I'm going to come in and cut kind of about that much off of it, just so it's not too long on either end. You know, play with it, get creative, decide what size you want and what you're using it for. Really, if you're going to make butterflies, they could be all different sizes, all different colors. I think it'd be really fun to put this together as a canvas and make really colorful butterflies for spring especially. So what you're doing here is just cutting out, coming back in towards the center in the middle and then back out at the bottom. So just like you would with a wing, it would kind of come in and then go back out. As you can see, I'm completely off on that, so I'm going to go ahead and cut. I did it upside down, and I'm kind of favoring one side for the inset of it so that it looks like one wing. You know, the top wing would be a little bit smaller on a butterfly and bigger on the bottom. So that's about right, I think. So we're going to go with that for the shape of it. And then you will take your center, and if you have the clothespins, you can go ahead and just gather it in the middle like this and put your clothespin on it. If you don't have a clothespin to use to hold the center all together, what you can do is just go ahead and gather this together and hot glue it as you gather it together like this. So just put a little dab of hot glue all the way across the middle, and then come back in and you can paint a stick or something. Go out in the yard, pick up some sticks, find a wider one, kind of a heavier, thicker one, and put it in there as a center, and that can be the body of your butterfly. So you'll just paint that the same color as you would paint your butterfly wings as well. Or you can paint it different, you know, do like a brown color or something in the center. Anything will work, whatever kind of paint you've got laying around, whatever you can, you know, whatever color you guys can use to make these look good. It really doesn't matter. It's just add a little bit of bling and a little bit of glitter, and you've got a really cute butterfly, and it's a fun project. So on this one, I do have the clothespin, so I'm just going to go ahead and gather it together with the clothespin like this. And then you want to come in and kind of separate some of your layers just to give you a little bit of fullness. you wouldn't have to have all the layers either if you just want to do it with a single layer or just a couple layers, but I kind of like the fullness once you get it all fluffed up of having the different layers in it. So once you get it kind of fluffed up, and the reason I'm fluffing it before we paint it is because once that paint gets on there, it tears really easily. So as you can tell on some of these edges, they're torn. Not that that matters, because once you add the glitter and kind of distress the paint a little bit, you're not really gonna see that, but just to give you a heads up on that one, if you kind of separate it a little bit beforehand, it's easier to get a hold of some of those layers after we get started painting. So with the painting, what you're gonna wanna do is take whatever color paint you have. I happen to have orange here, it's just one that I have on hand. And you really don't need too much for this, so I'm just gonna pull it right off the lid. Put a little bit of that paint on the plate. And then come in with a glass of water and just add water to your paint to kind of, and just do it on one side of the paint. So keep it thick here, because when you want to come back in with a thicker paint, like for your clothespin and for the antenna, if you use a twisty tie for the antenna and you want to paint that, you want to leave some of this thicker paint so it's not all watered down. So I'm kind of watering it down as I fan it out. So I've got thicker, you know, kind of a medium thickness, and then this one's pretty watered down. So that's what we're going to work with for painting it. And then you'll come in with your paint. I'm going to use this medium thickness and kind of go around the outside with my paint, just to give it a little bit of variance in the color. I kind of went around the outside with a thicker, heavier paint, and then hit the next layers just a little bit. And then come in there with a more watered down paint and come in and spread. Actually, we're going to water that down just a little bit more, so there's a little less coloring in it. And then come in and spread that out so it fans into the center of the butterfly. And then there's really nothing fancy about this. I'm kind of just spreading it around on the tissue paper just to get a nice color coverage all over, but you could dip the ends too if you wanted to dip the ends in more of a heavier water color, so it soaks into the ends instead of painting it on. You could do that too. Just play around with it until you come up with kind of the color that you like and the look that you like. Again, if this is just a kid's project, let them just have fun with it and be creative and play with different colors and different shapes. There is no way to do this wrong, so just have fun with it. And if you dip it in the paint, that's not a big deal either. Okay, so there we have it. I'm gonna get this a little darker on the outside here. And then we'll come in and paint the center of our butterfly, the clothespin. If you use a thicker one of these wider clothespins, you could hot glue googly eyes on it when you're done at the top. I'm going to show you a couple different ideas for the antenna, but just paint your clothespin to be whatever color you want the butterfly body to be. And then we're going to come in with some glitter and some school glue, Elmer's glue, whatever kind of glue you have to put the glitter on. That's what we will use. So just put a little bit of glue on your plate. Open up your glitter and get that ready. And then for this, I'm gonna rinse my paintbrush just a little bit. And then we'll come in with this glue, and I'm just gonna do the glue around the outside layer of it. I liked the way it looked. As you can see, when that glue gets on there, it's heavy and it does start to tear this tissue paper, but that's okay. Just be gentle as you're putting the glue on. If you wanna water the glue down a little bit, you could do that as well. Go ahead and pour the glitter onto the table and then dip the ends into the glitter. Just so there's a little less waste. If I was pouring all that glitter on, if I was doing it myself, it wouldn't be a big deal, but if you're having the kids do it, it might be easier to either just let them use their fingers and pour it on like this, or dip it into it, just so you don't use quite as much glitter. It's not a big deal if you're pouring the glitter on and you get too much and it's coming out way too thick. Once you shake that glitter off of it, then you can always come back in and scoop up your glitter and put it right back into your glitter container. So it's not a huge deal to do it that way, but it may conserve a little bit of the glitter if you decide to have them dip it or just sprinkle it on with their fingertips. So again, we're just coming in with the glue and going all the way around the outside. If you don't have glitter, you could always use glitter nail polish maybe, if you had that laying around, or a spray glitter if you had that of some sort. Whatever you got that's got a little bit of sparkle to it, it just adds a little bit to the butterfly. They're really pretty if you do kind of like a tea dye, if you would dye this paper with a tea also, or coffee dyeing it, and that would give it a really natural look on the butterfly and skip the glitter altogether. But okay, so we've got a little bit of glitter on the wings like that, and then go ahead and come back in on the butterfly itself. And I liked the glitter going down the center of the butterfly as well, so. So there we've got our butterfly pretty much done. We're gonna come back in and put an antenna on it. And I happen to have some copper wire here at the house, so I'm gonna use a little bit of that. But if you don't have wire to use for the antenna, you could always get a twisty tie. Here I used a twisty tie, and so I just curled that up and I painted it. You could probably add a little bit more glitter to that too, and then just tuck that right into your clothespin. Like that. You could always glue it on there, but we're gonna go ahead and do a wire. And to give it this twist, the twist that I had in this and the twist that we're gonna add in this, just take a small paintbrush or a small pen or something that you can just wrap your wire around, and go ahead and just twist your wire all the way around that brush, just to give you your little curly cues. And then I'm gonna take what I use to clip them also at the end is a needle nose plier, and so I'll just take the center of that and bend it. So that'll pull it up a little bit and bend that center, because then that's going to give us something to put into the clothespin here. So to hold that in place, I'm going to go ahead and put just a dab of hot glue, a wad of hot glue right there in the center. And then when we take our wire and push it in there, that'll hold that all nice and tight together. So then if you want to adjust your wires so that those come back up and around while you're holding it and letting that glue dry, it's a good idea to do the wire bending then so it doesn't pull it back out again. So go ahead and get those wires all bent up so you've got the nice antennas on it, and there you have it. It is a super simple, easy butterfly. You can do it with anything you've got laying around. If you've got some sticks, if you've got a twisty tie, if you've got a little glitter and a little paint, just get creative. And I'd love to see your guys' ideas and what you guys are doing at home this week. Thanks so much for joining me, and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.